Here are my note cards. Here are the people. 4 of them. Good. Good. Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm talking about why sleep is good for you both physically and mentally. The reason why I chose this topic is because it affected me, my friends, and my family. And being around them has shown me that having less sleep does affect you mentally and physically. Because according to CDC, or Center of Disease Control, a college student is more likely to be affected with less sleep to make more mistakes on the test than if someone was to get a good quality amount of sleep. Their performance will be increased and they'll do overall better. As a college student myself, I have stayed up trying to study for a MAC exam that was due early in the morning, hoping that I could retain all the information that I received the night prior. In fact, truth be told, I forgot all the formulas and proceeded to make mistakes and not do too well in the test. According to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders, while in a deep sleep, our brain processes the information that we learn throughout the day and turns it from short-term memory into long-term memory. If I would have known that, I would have actually gotten a good amount of sleep and maybe studied right before the test and maybe done better. With that being said, I've also had instances where my friends have done the same, and it's called standing out problems. Another thing is how well, when we sleep, or go into a deep sleep, as I'm talking about, it also affects us physically in a way that helps our health. It increases the likelihood of our stress being down, our anxiety, along with just overall reaction time and able to just not make mistakes throughout the day. For example, if you were to stay up for 24 hours straight, you could make more mistakes and you will react just as if you were intoxicated. Now, let's say you're sick, like everyone has been before. If you get a good amount of sleep, your body produces proteins along with just the ability to process all your feelings and problems. For example, if you have an infection, your body will create proteins throughout the deep sleep process that is required and will help fight the infection better than if you were to be sleep deprived. So, with that all being said, now that you know a little bit more about why sleep is so important, let me give you a few tips on why it is actually a good idea to get good sleep throughout the night. The first one being maintaining a good sleep schedule. If you do not, it all comes down. Your body has an internal clock that requires to be well maintained. Without a direct, constant schedule, it fluctuates and gets out of time. For instance, your car clocks. When we do a daytime or daylight savings time, the hour changes. You have to reset it. Well, if you don't go to sleep around the same period of time, along with even throughout a weekend, if you think, oh, I can sleep then, that messes with your internal clock and it causes your body to struggle with stress, anxiety, all that. And since stress is a very high leading cause of heart attacks and all that, with more sleep, it lowers the stress. It also helps regulate the blood flow, so decreasing blood pressure and having less risk of strokes, heart attacks, and whatnot like that. So it's very important. The second habit or tip is staying away from caffeine. After midday, try your best to avoid it because it can mess with your sleep schedule and keep you up, which will in turn mess with your internal clock, struggling to actually fluctuate correctly like it should. The third is being able to just have a nice setting in the area. If you can keep a cold, calm, relaxing area, maybe even play some calm music, it will help your body relax and it'll help your body into the deep sleep that it can actually form to help you physically and mentally throughout the night, so you're better prepared for the next day. Another, which is a major issue, especially nowadays because technology is so popular and so important today's normal standing. Avoiding the blue light that comes or emits from the screen that you are looking at keeps your brain active. It sends neurons to force your body to stay awake and active. That's why, for instance, my girlfriend, she likes watching TikTok throughout the night, keeping her awake and staying up till 3 to 4 in the morning, which she, quite frankly, gets a little grumpy when she don't get great sleep. So she needs to stay off, just as anyone else in this room or in college. Because college, you have a lot of stress, requirements you need to be met, trying to rush the deadline, hoping to exceed just going and staying up for a few hours. And in turn, it ruins you over time. Because a lot of people believe that you can catch up on sleep. But that myth is completely false. Because sleep deprivation almost immediately, hits you. And the side effects are just too drastic to not miss, like to just not throw away and just continue on about your life. And finally, the reason why I chose this is, like I said prior, it's very important to me because it affects so many people in my life. And if I can find ways to help them fight their stress, fight their anxiety, their depression, I really appreciate the fact that people are also going out of their way to make this research studies just to tell me, hey, you can do this to make your life a bit easier. Thank you. That is all I have to say. Oh, yeah.
Yes, nice, dude. Nice.
So again, I need to tell those two the entire time that they were all here, even the dogs.